Do you know that moment when you pause and think, will I ever achieve financial freedom? What if my salary is never enough? Well, that thought haunts many people, especially those who struggle every month to pay the bills, care for their families, and still dream of a more peaceful future. But the big turning point may be much closer than you imagine. And the best part, it doesn't require a raise, a lottery jackpot, or a stroke of luck. According to Robert Kiyosaki, author of the famous book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and student of the psychology of success, what truly transforms someone's financial life isn't how much they earn, but how they act with what they already have. Imagine this: two people earning the same salary. One is always in debt, their credit cards maxed out, postponing their dreams. The other, little by little, starts investing, paying off debts, and even creating new income streams. What's the difference between them? Attitude. That's exactly what this video will reveal. 5 simple yet powerful attitudes that anyone can start practicing right now, using only the salary they already earn today. These attitudes are like seeds. At first, it might seem as if nothing has changed. But over time, they grow roots and begin to bear fruit: freedom, choices, peace of mind, even wealth. It's not magic. It's a shift in mindset and consistency in action. And the most beautiful part? You don't need to be a genius or rich or well-connected. You only need to learn to think like those who have already made it. Because as Kiyosaki says, your mind is your greatest asset. If you train it the right way, your money will follow the path you choose. For a long time, many people believed that only those born with a special gift or a lot of luck could succeed in life. You've probably heard things like, so-and-so is talented, that's why they made it. She was lucky, she knew the right people. He went to the best schools, so of course he's successful. But this video invites us to flip that way of thinking, because, according to Robert Kiyosaki and countless other financial success experts, what really separates those who build prosperous lives from those who remain stuck isn't talent or isolated effort, but something far simpler and more powerful: attitude. And along with it comes your state of mind. Yes, that's right. Attitude, that inner strength that makes you get out of bed with purpose, the daily choice not to live on autopilot, not to accept your current reality as all you deserve. And state of mind, that's how you feel when facing challenges. It's the way you interpret your own story, even when the winds seem to be blowing against you. Let's imagine two people with the same education, the same job, the same salary. One is always complaining, says they'll never get ahead. Life is too hard, no one helps. The other, in that same scenario, chooses to see challenges as stepping stones. Instead of comparing themselves to others, they compare themselves to themselves. How can I do better today than I did yesterday? And there lies the secret. Whoever changes their state of mind changes their results. Because when you think like someone who has already won, you act like someone who has already won, and the world responds. Opportunities appear, ideas arise, and decisions become more conscious, more aligned with what you truly want to build. It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's about adopting a growth attitude, believing that every step matters, and that with consistency, your life can change completely by 2026, starting now with what you already have in hand. Imagine a small snowball at the top of a mountain. It starts timid, almost imperceptible, but as it rolls down, it gains speed, gathers more snow, grows larger, until it becomes something massive and unstoppable. That's how success works. Many people think success arrives all at once, like a bolt of lightning. But in reality, it's a process. It starts small, almost invisible, with simple, silent attitudes that gain strength over time. Every positive choice you make today, saving instead of spending, studying instead of mindless scrolling, thinking long-term, instead of only about the present, is like pushing that little snowball down the mountain. And you know what's curious? The same applies to failure. When you choose to ignore your dreams, put things off, spend recklessly, or live on autopilot, you're also pushing a ball. But in this case, it's the ball of regression. And the longer it rolls, the harder it becomes to stop. So the question is, which ball are you growing in your life? Because the truth is that every small attitude counts. Big changes rarely start with revolutions. They start with small, consistent decisions made every day, like waking up 15 minutes earlier to learn about finances, or deciding to set aside $50 each month, even if it seems too little. These attitudes may seem insignificant today, but in a year, 2, 3, they transform into an avalanche of transformation. And here's a powerful secret. The more achievements you rack up, the more achievements you attract. It's as if the universe notices you're ready and starts offering you more opportunities. People begin to notice you. Doors that seemed closed swing open. You start to think differently, and the world starts to respond differently too. Don't wait for a big moment to begin, because success doesn't come from a giant leap. It begins with the first well-taken step. How many times have you thought, I wasn't born for this? I didn't go to the best schools. My life's always been hard, so it's logical that it won't change now. These phrases, unfortunately, are all too common. And more than that, they're mind traps, because they make you believe that what happened in your past defines what you can live in the future. But the truth, as this video topic shows, is that none of those factors, talent, education, or background, determines your financial success. Do you know why? Because what truly makes the difference is your mindset. You've seen super intelligent people with amazing diplomas who live mired in debt, unable to move forward. And you've surely met simple people with little formal education who managed to start a business, buy a home, live with dignity, and even help others. What's their secret? They believed they could. They decided not to be limited by past hardships, and above all, they cultivated a winning mindset. A person with a growth mindset sees every challenge as a chance to learn. When they fall, they get back up. When they fail, they try again. They don't wait for the perfect moment to start. They start with what they have, where they are, and evolve along the way. And you know what's most amazing? This mindset can be developed. No one is born with it. It's like a muscle. You strengthen it by using it. Every time you choose to act with courage, even when you're afraid. Every time you tell yourself, I am capable, even while you're still learning. That's why so many ordinary people, without any privilege, manage to achieve extraordinary results. Because they trained their minds to believe and to act like winners. And that's what starts to change everything. You don't need to wait for anything external to change to begin. Change starts inside you. And the good news is, you can start. Right now, pause for a moment and think, how do you see yourself? What words do you repeat internally about yourself? Do you call yourself stupid with money, unlucky, incapable, or do you believe you have unique value even while still learning? That simple question carries enormous power, because the way you see yourself determines what you believe you're capable of achieving. Having a positive self-awareness means looking inward with respect. It means stopping defining yourself by past mistakes, by the times you tried and failed, by the lifelong criticisms you've heard. You know that inner voice that says, you'll never get out of this situation. You weren't born to have money. You only attract problems. So that voice needs to be silenced. And you know how? By replacing it with another that says, I can learn, I can change. My past does not define my destiny. Because when you begin to see your true potential, something magical starts to happen. You start making different decisions. You start treating yourself better. You start believing that it is indeed possible to change your life, even with the salary you have today. And pay attention, this has nothing to do with arrogance or illusion. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's simply about recognizing that you have value, that inside you there's a potential that may be dormant but can be awakened right now. Most people aren't poor because they lack money. They remain limited by a poor self-image. They carry labels they accepted over the years without realizing they could remove those labels and write a new story. Having a positive self-awareness is the first real step toward financial freedom, because before you can grow rich on the outside, you need to strengthen yourself on the inside. And when that happens, oh, my friend, the world begins to look at you differently, because now you're also looking at yourself with fresh eyes. Sometimes we think we've wasted too much time, that we should have started sooner, that it's already too late, that we're too old to change. But let me tell you a few stories that will shake you. Have you heard of Ray Kroc? The name might not ring a bell, but you certainly know the fast food chain he turned into an empire. McDonald's. Do you know how old he was when he started that project? 54. While many people at that age are thinking about retirement, Ray decided to begin. He saw an opportunity where no one else did. He believed in the potential of something small and made it grow like no one expected. Then there's Grandma Moses. She was just an ordinary housewife who spent her life taking care of daily chores. She only started painting when she was 75. Yes, you read that right, 75. And you know what happened? Her paintings became so special that today they hang in museums and private collections around the world. She became a symbol that it's never too late to start something new. And of course, we can't forget Walt Disney. Many people only know the success, his movies, the theme parks. But few know that Disney went bankrupt twice before building his empire. He was rejected by publishers, faced financial hardship, and even slept on a train station bench. But he didn't stop. He believed in his idea, in his vision, and he persisted. What do these stories have in common? None of them started at the right time. All of these people could have said, "It's too late now." But they didn't. They made a decision to believe in themselves, even when no one else did. They started with very little, faced doubts, stumbled, yet they kept moving forward. So next time you think it's too late to change your life, to save money, to start a business, to get out of debt, or to begin again from scratch, remember these stories. It doesn't matter how old you are. What matters is what you'll do with the days ahead of you. Because as long as there's time, there's opportunity, and maybe your great turning point starts today. Do you know what's most impressive about the stories of Ray Kroc, Grandma Moses, and Walt Disney? It wasn't money that transformed their lives. In fact, none of them started with much. What they all had in common was something no one could ever take away: vision and persistence. Let's make this crystal clear. Vision is when you see something that doesn't yet exist. It's as if you envision a beautiful garden, even when there's only dry earth. You believe it will bloom. And more than that, you begin working to make it happen. And that's where persistence comes in, continuing even when you feel like quitting. It's pushing forward when no one else believes. It's refusing to give up just because it hasn't worked out yet. Disney had every reason to quit, bankrupt, rejected, disbelieved. But he had a clear vision to create a place where adults and children could dream together, and he clung to that dream day after day until it became reality. Money? It came afterward, because money is always a consequence, never the starting point. Those who wait to have money before they begin end up never beginning. That's the point. What transforms a life is not the balance in your bank account. It's the idea in your head and the strength in your heart. And you know what's even better? That's within anyone's reach. You don't need to be a genius or rich or well-connected. You only need to believe in your idea, see where you can go, and have the courage to take the first step, even when you're afraid, even without guarantees. Because the secret isn't outside of you. The secret is how you choose to react to challenges, and if you persist, the money will follow. It's that simple. Have you ever stopped to think that, many times, the only obstacle between you and success is yourself? It sounds strong, doesn't it? But it's a truth many of us ignore, and it can be the key to transforming our lives. How many times have you caught yourself saying, "I'm not good enough for this. This isn't for me. I'll never get what I really want." These words may seem harmless, but deep down, they are limits you've imposed on yourself. The truth is that often the biggest barrier we face isn't external, it's our own mind. But don't worry, this doesn't mean you're alone in this process. We all go through it. Every successful person you know had to confront their own fears, insecurities, and limitations. But the secret lies in how they dealt with them. When you begin to change the way you see yourself, to believe that you can be more than you are now, you open up a world of possibilities that were previously hidden. That doesn't mean it will be easy. It doesn't mean the journey won't have challenges, but with a new vision, opportunities start to appear, and most importantly, you'll feel ready to seize them. Imagine you're walking down a dark path, unsure of where to go. But if you begin to believe you have the skills to move forward, that you don't need to be perfect, just persistent, the doors will open one by one. And the most interesting thing is that when you break through your own limitations, you begin to notice all the opportunities that were around you the whole time. Opportunities you simply didn't see because you were trapped by limiting beliefs about yourself. That's why change begins with you. If you decide today to stop holding yourself back, if you begin to treat yourself as someone who can, should, and will achieve their goals, things start to change, not in some distant future, but now. You'll realize that the limitations you thought you had are nothing more than shadows that vanish as soon as you switch on the light of your confidence and positive vision. Have you noticed how, when you feel good about yourself, things flow more easily? How it's easier to make decisions, face challenges, and even enjoy small daily victories when your self-esteem is sky high? Now imagine the opposite. When you don't believe in yourself, when your self-esteem is low, even the simplest tasks seem impossible. Everything feels harder because the way you see yourself directly impacts what you believe you're capable of achieving. Here's the secret. Positive self-esteem isn't about arrogance or thinking you're superior to others. On the contrary, it's about recognizing your inner worth, and that worth is non-negotiable. It doesn't matter how you compare to others. What matters is understanding that you have something unique inside you, something that makes you capable of accomplishing amazing things. And make no mistake, having healthy self-esteem doesn't mean you won't face challenges. Quite the opposite. You'll encounter them, but the difference is that with strong self-esteem, you will see those challenges as opportunities to grow, not as insurmountable barriers. That's what will give you the strength to keep moving forward even when things get tough. Here's a powerful tip. Start accepting compliments. Many people struggle to receive a simple, "You did a great job," or "You're amazing," and that's a sign of low self-esteem. When someone compliments you, accept it wholeheartedly. Don't brush it off or downplay what you've done. This will help you internalize the recognition and strengthen your self-confidence. Also, celebrate your small victories. No matter how simple or small they are, every step you take toward your goal is an achievement and deserves to be celebrated. This will reinforce your belief that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to. Positive self-esteem is also about taking care of yourself, being kind to yourself, and not criticizing yourself all the time. Remember, you are your greatest ally. When you treat yourself with respect and love, your ability to face challenges and reach your goals multiplies. But it's not just about what you think of yourself. Everyone has the same potential. Your worth isn't in your appearance, your possessions, or what you've done in the past. It's in what you choose to do now, in your willingness to believe in what you can achieve. So if today you're feeling insecure or thinking you're not valuable enough to achieve something great, remember that change starts from the inside out. Value yourself, believe in yourself, and get ready for great things. We've all experienced them at some point in life. The fear of rejection, the fear of change, and the fear of success. These fears can be so powerful that if we don't know how to handle them, they can paralyze us and prevent us from moving toward the life we truly want. But here's the good news. You can overcome them. Fear of rejection. How many times have you held back from doing something because you were afraid others wouldn't like it? Afraid of being judged, of not being accepted, or even of being ignored? This is the fear of rejection, and it's one of the main reasons people can't leave their comfort zones. But the truth is that rejection is inevitable. No matter how hard you try, there will always be someone who doesn't like you or what you do. And that's okay. The secret is not letting others' opinions define who you are or what you can achieve. Rejection does not mean failure. It simply means you tried. And every time you try, you move one step closer to success. Remember, if you never try, you'll never know what you could have achieved. Rejection is actually a form of feedback, and it teaches us to improve. So accept it as part of the process and use it as fuel to keep moving forward. Fear of change. Change is often scary. After all, who enjoys leaving their comfort zone and facing the unknown? But if you want to achieve something greater, change is inevitable. It may seem contradictory, but the truth is nothing in the world grows without change. To get new results, you'll need to do things differently, think differently, and even act differently. It might be uncomfortable at first, but believe me, change brings a new perspective and opens doors to new opportunities. So instead of resisting change, embrace it. See it as a chance to reinvent yourself, to learn, and to evolve. Remember, if you keep doing the same thing, you'll keep getting the same results. Change is what will take you to a new level. Fear of success. This may seem strange at first glance, but fear of success is real. Many people are afraid to reach their goals because it can mean more responsibility, more attention, more pressure. They worry that success will come at too high a price, or that they won't know how to handle it. But the truth is that success is a natural consequence of hard work and persistence. And if you're afraid of it, maybe it's time to ask yourself, why are you afraid of achieving what you want? You deserve the success you're seeking. Success is a reward for all the effort you've put into something. So instead of fearing it, prepare yourself for it. By confronting these fears, you strengthen your self-esteem and consequently your ability to move forward. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you face your fears and learn to manage them, the stronger you become. Fear doesn't disappear overnight, but you learn to work with it, to use it to your advantage. How to overcome these fears? The key is to practice courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite fear. Every time you face one of these fears, you get closer to becoming the best version of yourself. Celebrate your small victories. Each step you take is proof you're on the right path. And here we've come to the end of this video. But as you can see, the path to transforming your financial and personal life begins with small actions. By facing your fears, strengthening your self-esteem, and acting with confidence, you're opening doors to success, and more importantly, to a more balanced and fulfilling life. Remember, you have the power to change your story. Believe in yourself, embrace challenges as opportunities, and never stop striving for the best for you and those around you. If you enjoyed this content and think someone in your life could benefit from these tips, don't hesitate to share this. video. And of course, like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of the upcoming videos, packed with even more insights to help you reach your goals. See you in the next video. And remember, success starts with the right attitude. What will you do today to change your life? We'll see you soon.